Yo, my name is Cody A. Banks, and today I'll be showing you how I created this Kendrick Lamar illustration in Adobe Illustrator. There's one specific moment during the halftime show where I immediately knew that I had to make a design after it, and it was this moment when Kendrick looked straight into the camera and said, "Say Drake." So we're gonna use that moment as a reference and turn him into a little cartoon. So let's hop straight into Illustrator. All right, so here we have our design. As always, I'm gonna slide him over here to the left, and we can recreate it over here on the right side. I have my color palette over here on the right, and then just a solid rectangle for the background using the white from my color palette. So as usual, we can just start off with the head. Nice simple circle like this. Make it brown. Next, let's do the smile. So we're gonna just make a rectangle right here, kind of like that. Let's make it white. And then what we're gonna do is zoom in, and with our pen tool selected, we're gonna hold down Option and drag it down like this. And again for the bottom. Then we can just use our direct select tool, that's A on your keyboard, and round out all the corners like that. That'll give you this kind of curved oval shape. I want it to be even a little bit more curved. So let's go up to our effects and go down to warp and do arch. Bend it down slightly, like right about there. We can expand its appearance. Let's add a point right here and then just bring it down a little bit. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's double click on this shape. We're gonna add the lines for the teeth. So just use your pen tool and draw out some lines like this. Group those together, select everything, Command G. All right, and there's our mouth. All right, for the nose, we're gonna add 4 points with our pen tool. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hold down Option with your pen tool still selected, and you can curve it out like that. Let's get rid of the fill, and then we can adjust it to make it a little bit more straight. All right, cool, so there's our nose. Next up, let's do the ears real quick. So another brown circle right here. Command C, Command Shift V to make another circle on top, and then we can shrink it down like that and make it slightly darker. And let's get rid of the stroke. And we're gonna add a couple lines. So start right about there and bring it over this way. Let's give it the same stroke as everything else. So go like that, and then we're gonna curve it out and get rid of the fill. One more line right here with our pen tool and curve it out. Group all those together, and then we're just gonna drop it right about here. We can adjust this a little bit later if we have to, but for now, let's just drop it there. We can Option drag a second ear over this way and then reflect it. Object, transform, reflect, vertical, and then we're gonna send it all the way to the back. Command Shift, left bracket, and then it'll be kind of hidden behind the head. All right, cool. So the mouth and the nose can be slid to the left a little bit since his head is sort of facing to the left. All right, so now I'm gonna make the hat. So we're gonna just add a point right about here. Bring it over this way, right above the ear. We're gonna bring it up this like that. And now that we have the basic shape in, we can just kind of curve things out like that. Round out these corners. Since the hat is black, we're gonna make it the same color as the stroke. So hold down Shift with your eyedropper tool and just click on the stroke. But I don't want it to be fully black. I want it to be a little bit slighter just so you can see all the details and the lines in it. So we'll just make it a little bit lighter like that. That way it still gives the idea of being black, but it's not quite fully black. For the back of the hat, again, we'll just use the pen tool, add a point right about there, and then we'll curve it like that, and then do the same thing over here. And we're gonna send that all the way to the back. Make sure there's a little bit of space between the ear and the hat. Try not to have any tangents where a line is touching another line. So we can even just move the ear down a little bit. Let's double click on this shape, and then we'll finish it off by rounding it out this way, kind of like that. And we're gonna send this backwards, Command Shift left bracket, and then we're gonna make it fully black like that. When I say black, I actually mean purple, since purple is the darkest color that we're gonna use, this color right here. This is what I'm referring to when I say black. So let's group these together, Command G, and that's the back of our hat. This is actually a little bit too round, so I'm gonna actually add a point right here and right here, and then let's just hold down Option to get rid of the anchors on that, and then we can adjust this point right here to make it a little bit more of a pointed edge. Not quite pointy, but you get the sense of there's a change of direction more so if it's like that instead of fully rounded out like that. All right, cool, that looks good. Just finish it like that. All right, next we can just add this little button on the top of the hat. So again, pen tool, curve it out, and then round the corners, and we can send that to the back. All right, cool, that looks pretty good. Let's add in the beard, since this is looking a little weird over here where the ear is. So for the beard, I use the pencil tool, and I kind of just draw it in nice and rough like this. Give it some scribbles like that. Bring it all the way around like this, and we're gonna use the Pathfinder tool. So let's select the head shape, Command C, Command Shift V. Now we have this one on top. So select that shape and our beard shape. We're gonna go over to Pathfinder and hit this one right here, intersect. So now we have this beard shape, and we can send it backwards a bunch of times. So let's Command left bracket and do that until you get right here, right on top of the face. Now we can just bring the nose down and round it out a little bit so it's kind of covering up the beard like that. Make some adjustments so the beard kind of follows along the shape of the mouth, kind of like that. Round it out. Same thing on this side. All right, cool, that looks solid. For the ear, I wanna make it a little bit flatter on this side, so let's add a point right here and right here, and then we're just gonna delete this point. So with our pen tool selected, just hover over it and select that. Hold down Option, and we can adjust these anchor points like that. Just bring these points in. All right, cool. Next we'll do the eyes. So that's just using the pencil tool. Just a little curve like that for each eye. And then we'll draw in the eyebrows like this. Curve it down like that. Make it black. Bring this point up. That looks good. We're gonna bring this one over this way and reflect it, transform, reflect. Let's make the eyes a little bit smaller and spread them back out. All right, cool. Let's add earrings real quick. So that's just a white circle, put that right there. And we'll add some details to the hat. So we're just gonna add this little rectangle here. Then we're just gonna curve it out a little bit like this so that it's following the path of the hat. Sort of like that. That looks decent. Give that a white stroke. So we'll just flip this right here, and then with your fill selected over here, hold down Shift and hit your blue. That'll only affect the fill. Then we just gotta add a couple lines. So do one right here, curve it out. This one can be this color. And then we'll do another one right here. And lastly, we'll draw this little shape right here, make it white. And then for the stroke, we'll also make it white. All right, cool. That's our hat, and that's pretty much it for the head. Next up, we'll do the body. So let's just kind of throw in this shape here. A lot of this section is covered up by the hand and by the front of the jacket, so we don't have to worry about it too much. We'll just kind of get the general shape in there like this. Bring it up this way. This portion of his shoulder is exposed, so we want to make sure that's popping out this direction a little bit. And we'll make that the same color as his hat since it's black, and send it all the way backwards. So just a weird little random shape like that. It's all gonna get covered up by the other clothes, so it's not too important right now. Next, let's add this little collar right here. So we're just gonna zoom in, add a point right here, and another right here. Bring it down this way, back up like that. So let's just curve this out, curve this out, curve this one out, and we can round this one. And let's double click, and we're gonna add a line right here. This line gives it the effect that it's kind of looping around over the top of his shoulder. So let's make this blue. Let's get rid of the curve on this real quick, and then bring this point over, and this one, and then recurve it back out. All right, that's cool. Next, let's make this part of the jacket. So we're gonna start right at the end of the collar shape, bring it down this way, here, here, and right about there. We're gonna curve this out, but then readjust this anchor point so it kind of makes this wave shape. This bottom line can be curved up slightly. And let's bring this one all the way up this way. So that's gonna cover up this purple shape. So let's send that behind the collar. That looks pretty good. Actually forgot to add this little bottom section of the shirt. So let's just add that in real quick. Kind of like this. Send it backwards, curve it out. All right, that looks good. We can add in these details after we have all the design done. Next up, let's just do the arm. Continue in the path of this shoulder right here. So we're gonna bring it over this way. We're gonna use straight lines like I've been doing, and then we're gonna curve them out afterwards. All right, that can be blue. Send it all the way to the back. Curve this out, curve this out. Double click in here, and again, we're gonna add this line just like we did for the collar and group them together. Command G, that's cool. Next, we'll do this, curve this little line out. And next we'll add the cuff, make that one black. And then we're gonna add these 3 lines right here just for detail. You'll notice pretty much everything I make starts off as a straight line, and then I just curve it out. Kind of like that. You just have to sort of imagine where you want each point to go and then drop them in there and then make adjustments as you go. So let's group all these together, Command G, so we can slide them over this way. Just double click on this arm, and we're gonna add the details of this sleeve just so that it matches up with the colors. So we're gonna add a new shape like this over the top, and another one like this. Command C and Command Shift V 2 times. So now we're gonna have 2 of these arm shapes. We're gonna use these to Pathfinder tool out these shapes. So select that one and this one, Pathfinder tool. Now you have another one that you can use. Now you have these 2 shapes on top of the arm. This one needs to go behind this one. So actually we got this little chunk right here that we got to get rid of. So let's just delete this point and move this point in right there. So then we can just make this one white and this one can be that color. And then actually we can just delete this point and bring this one up a little bit, curve it out like that, because I want it to be skinny over here but a little bit thicker over on this side. All right, so now we have these little details and that's all grouped together. We can add this one as well too. So let's double click back in there and just add it like this, curve it out, curve it out. There we go. That's our sleeve. Next up, we can add this big fist. So we're gonna start with a little wrist right here. Straight line, like that, and like that. Make it this color. We're gonna curve it out, and then add a line on each side, real small, and then group those 3 together. So that's the wrist. Looks like it's kind of going into the cuff of the sleeve. All right, so now we gotta make this big fist. So we're gonna start right about here. As always, we're just gonna start with straight lines and then curve them out as we go. Add another one right here. Let's go ahead and group these together so that we're working in isolation mode. Send this one all the way to the back. We're gonna add another one right here. Send that all the way to the back. Another one. And that one comes all the way up this way and like that. Now we can send this one all the way to the back as well. It looks pretty crazy right now, but you'll see it does come together. We're gonna add one more shape that's just gonna be the background shape, or the back shape, that does not need a stroke. We'll just send it all the way to the back, and that kind of just fills in this blank space right here. All right, so now let's just curve everything out like that, and then we'll round the corners out like that, and then basically just need to finish it off with the thumb. Send that all the way to the back, and let's bring it out a little bit further. Just curve it out like the others. Slight round on the corners. All right, that looks pretty good. So there's our fist. That's all grouped together, and that's pretty much it for that side. Next up, we'll do this side of the jacket. So it's actually just kind of a skinny shape over here. You don't really see too much of it, so just kind of sketch it in there real quick. make it blue. Here we go. Curve this one out a little bit too. Let's select everything up here, the whole head, and Command Shift right bracket. So everything up here should definitely be in front of the body. So this is all in the front now. For the necklace, let's make an oval right here. You want it to be white, like your background color or whatever color your teeth are. And select your stroke color and copy that hex code right here. Then we're gonna flip it so that the stroke is white and the fill is purple. But we can get rid of the fill. And we need to open up our appearance panel. So go up to Window and hit Appearance. Let's make the stroke width 8. That's about the thickness that we want for the necklace. And we're gonna hit this little button right here, Duplicate Selected Item. Then we just need to change the color. So go down here to this plus sign, New Swatch. And since we have our hex code selected from when we copied it before, we can just hit Command V, OK, and that will create a new swatch. Looks like I already had one created, but that's how you make it. So now we have that underneath the white one, we gotta bring the stroke weight up 8 points. Since my stroke width on everything else is 4 points, we gotta bring it up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that'll give it that look right there, where you can adjust it. It's basically a double stroke. So after we have that, we can go up to Effects, go to Distort and Transform and hit Zigzag. We're gonna bring the size down to 1. And ridges per segment, let's make it, say 8, and we can make it smooth. Hit OK. So now we have this, but the effect was not applied to the bottom stroke. So we gotta click on that, go back up to Effect and apply Zigzag. It'll give it the exact same settings as the top one. So now we have this kind of wavy oval shape. Just kind of set it right there and then send it back a bunch of times until it's behind the head. Or what you could even do is just hit Command Shift left bracket to send it all the way to the back and then bring it forward until it's right in front of the body, like that. So that looks good. We'll drop that one right about here. Option drag a second one down, like that. And then we'll option drag a third one that we can make a little bit bigger and adjust the point like that. So there's our necklaces. For the A on this necklace, we're gonna bring in a reference photo. So I found this reference photo on Google. Basically, we just trace out this shape with the pen tool. So let's start off with this shape right here. We're just gonna use straight lines like we did before. Straight line, like that, and then curve it out, and let's make it white. That looks good. We're gonna go here, 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 like that. That's how I start off, and then basically we're just curving things out to match the shape. All right, that looks pretty good. Send this back one spot, and then we can use our Pathfinder tool, minus front, and that'll just get rid of that little middle shape. Delete our reference. Now we got that A. So let's shrink that down. Option drag a second one over this way so it kind of has that 3D look. Group those together. Double click on there, and we're gonna add just a rectangle like this. Send it back a few times until it's behind the necklace, and then we're gonna add a small shadow right here. Make it black. Cool, there's our A. That looks pretty good. I gotta fix this little point right here, so let's just add an extra point right here and then drag it over. So that way it looks more realistic. Cool, there's our A. All right, let's do the arm next. So we have two parts of the arm. We have this forearm section, and then we have this back section, which is like the top of the arm. So we need this part that's in front of his body and this part that's behind. So basically, let's just do the forearm first, and then we'll add the back afterwards. So we're gonna add a shape like this. This is gonna be like its elbow right here. And then we just curve it around like that. We'll round out these. That looks pretty good. So now this is in front, and then we're gonna add the back like this. Send it all the way backwards, Command Shift left bracket. We just need to make sure that this little intersection is lined up perfectly so that it looks like a seamless line. That looks pretty good. This is all gonna get covered up by the hand, so we don't have to worry about it too much. So let's just add a little cuff right here. This will be like the cuff of his sleeve. Add some lines. Let's group those together, Command G, and looks like the forearm is a little bit too big, so let's bring this down a little bit, and then we can bring these down too. All right, and let's make the microphone. We'll do it right over here, and then we'll just drag it into place. So let's make a circle right here, kind of like an oval. Command C, Command Shift V, shrink it down like that. Then we'll just make basically like a rectangle and send that backwards. Round this part out, and then the top of the microphone, it's basically just a circle. So we'll do it like this, make it black, send it backwards, a little bit bigger. Cool, then we just gotta add in a few lines like this, get rid of the fill on those, and then let's just group this whole thing together. All right, cool. So let's just rotate it a little bit so it's facing towards the mouth. And then what we're gonna do is add the fingers on top. So let's double click into here. All right, for the fingers, we're gonna bring a straight line up this way, bring it back up like that, and then connect it like this. So now we have this sort of triangle shape on top. This can be black. And then we're gonna add that line like that. That makes a finger on top of the mic. So we can make it a little bit larger down here by just rounding it out. All right, that looks good. Let's group these two together, Command G. For this finger, we're just gonna use the pencil tool, just draw it out like this, and then Command left bracket to send it behind. So we have two fingers now. We have another finger going up this way, kind of like on top of the microphone, kind of like that. We're gonna send this one back a couple times. All right, and that looks pretty good. Last thing we gotta do is the thumb. So that's just a big shape like this, basically an oval. Send that all the way to the back. This is all grouped together. Let's add it right about there. Let's get it in place where we want it, and then we can adjust the arm after, because the hand placement is a little bit more important than the arm placement. So let's get the hand in place like that. And what we can do is copy this hand and microphone, Command C, just delete it. And then we're gonna go into this group, the forearm group. So double click, Command Shift V, and we want the cuff to be in front of the thumb, but behind the microphone. So let's ungroup this, and then we'll bring this forward like that, and we can just put it into place and adjust the arm like that. Hopefully that makes sense. Kind of speeding through this a little bit. All right, let's actually move these lines up to the top like this, and then what we're gonna do is add a little shadow like that, and this can be added directly into the cuff group like that. All right, cool. All right, let's just add in this white and blue detail to the sleeve, and that'll be it for the arms. So we can just go like this, make this shape. Use our direct select tool to select only the arm, since this is a group. If I use the regular select tool, we're gonna select everything, but we just want this shape right here. So direct select tool, Command C, Command Shift V. Now we have a shape to use the Pathfinder tool with, and we can make that white. And then let's just curve this slightly, and then we'll do the same thing again, and just Command C, Command Shift V, Pathfinder tool. Now we have the second shape that we can make blue. So we have this and this all on top of this. Now we have the whole top half of the body. Let's just add the legs and the shoes, and we'll be all done. For the legs, these are just long rectangles essentially. So let's just add them in there like this. Send it all the way to the back and make it blue. Make them nice and skinny. This one we'll use the pencil tool, draw it in like this. Bring it up, send it all the way to the back. We're gonna expand on this leg right here, bring it down like this so it's kind of showing off his bell-bottom pants. Bring this point up, we're gonna curve it out. And curve this out too. All right, so let's add the shoe. We'll double click on this back shape for the back leg. And we're just gonna do a half circle like that. And that's gonna be white. This needs to be on top of the blue shape. And then we'll do another shape for the sole like this. Curve it all the way around and then like that. We'll curve this one too. This is gonna be behind the hand, so this will be covered up. Let's just round out these points. Bring them up right about there. And then we just have to go like this and fill in this blank space. Send that all the way to the back. Here we go. This one's a little bit curvier, so let's actually curve it out a little bit more. That looks good. We'll make a shadow right here underneath the foot. Send that to the back. Make it black. All right, and then for this shoe, we're gonna do the bottom of the shoe first. So that's gonna start right here, come up this way, and back around like that. So this is basically like a teardrop almost. Make that white. You can round this out if we need to. Then let's double click on that and we're gonna add this second shape following along. Go up, down, up, like that. Send that backwards. And then we'll just fix this up a little bit, round it out like that. Get rid of those points, and then this can be dragged over. That looks pretty good. And all right, cool. And then next we'll just do this half circle again for the toe of the shoe, kind of like that. Send that backwards. And then we're just gonna add a small line right here, kind of do it like that. And we're gonna drag this into place. So right now it's not in this right spot, so let's just drag this entire thing over this way. Send it behind the pants, and then we'll resize it to fit this spot. Right now it's a little bit too big. That does not look right. That looks kind of crazy. So rotate it a little bit, see if I can fix it like that. Make this a little bit bigger, and then we can just adjust the pant leg, kind of like that, and kind of like that, just to cover it up. And again, we'll add a shadow. We can just drag this one over, send it to the back. And next we just add in lines. For this one, I think I drew them in with a pencil tool, but for this, I'm just gonna do it like that. And then give it the zigzag effect. So go to zigzag, make the size, let's say 2, bring that down. All right, cool. And then we'll just kind of option drag these into place. You can curve them out if you want to. For the last one, I'll just use the pencil tool, like that. One more thing, and we'll be all wrapped up, is this back portion of the jacket. So let's just add that in with the pen tool. Connect these 2 points, round it out like that, send it all the way backwards, and then we're gonna make it blue, but give it a little bit darker of a shade. And then we can curve it out like that. Let's add just a few more details into this jacket right here. So let's double click on this, and we're just gonna use the draw inside tool for this. And we'll just go like that. Give this shape the same black color. Option drag another one, make that one white, send it backwards. That looks good. For this Gloria text, we're gonna type it out, just RIA. It's gonna go right there. Give it I'm gonna use this font right here, make it red, object, expand, and that one down. Kind of just make them a little bit more jumbled up, kind of like his jacket was folding over. Give that a stroke like that, and then we're gonna Command C, Command Shift V, give it a second stroke that's gonna be white. Fill and stroke can both be white on that one, and then send it backwards. And then kind of just fill it up until there's no more spaces, like that. That looks decent. I'm gonna get rid of this middle shape in the A, like that. And we'll do the same thing over on this side. All right, cool, that's our character. I wanna give it a little background too, so let's make a new artboard. Over here real quick, we'll make it 800 by 1000. That's a good size for Instagram. We'll just create a new background, just a solid white like this. And then we'll drag this guy over right there. We can group him together in this artboard. Over here, we don't want to group it all together, but this side, we're just gonna create a little background for him. So let's just make a little American flag. Do like this, some stripes. Command D, select all of those, and let's make red for these stripes, and then we'll add just a little blue box right there. And I actually made this on the wrong layer, so we'll just select everything, Command C, go ahead and throw it on the back layer right there. And now he's sitting on the American flag. We can give him a little text right here. We'll put right there. And zoom in there. Just have him say Drake. Heard you like him young. Make that white. Cool. Dog's cool. Now we have a little post for Instagram. If you prefer the blank background, that's cool too. I think this background just kind of fits with the whole performance, just to bring everything together. Besides that, that's how I created this Kendrick character. Hopefully you guys were able to follow along with that. I know I got into a lot of details with that one, and it's a little bit longer than usual, but I really want to show every step on this one just to let you know how it was created. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.